Okay, so we've looked at equations, now we're going to look at inequations. In equations, we've got things, expressions that are equal to each other. In inequations, things are not equal to each other. And in inequations, we use the following symbols. We use the greater than symbol, the less than symbol, greater than or equal to, or less than or equal to. For example, I could say that 9 is greater than 6. I could say that 5 is less than 20. If I was to say that, if I complete the question, I got to the value that x is greater than or equal to 6. Because I've got this line in here, that means that x can be any value that is bigger than 6 but also equal to 6. So for example here, x could be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. Okay, I could include 6 here because it was greater than or equal to. If this wasn't here, I could just include the numbers 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. Similarly, I could have x is less than or equal to 2, so I could have 2 and 1. Okay, we're now going to look at how to solve these. To solve inequations, we solve them exactly the same as we solve equations. There is absolutely no change except for one exception. Okay, so although that there is no equal sign, we've got a less than or equal to sign, we solve it exactly the same. So we've got y plus 4 is less than or equal to 7. So if we subtract 4 from both sides, we're going to have y is less than or equal to 3. We could have z take away 8 is greater than or equal to minus 10. I would add 8 to both sides to get z is greater than or equal to minus 2. Just exactly the process that we've been following through so far. We can also see that when we've got like a multiple in front of the variable. If 2x is greater than or equal to 20, I want to find out what x is greater than or equal to, so I would need to divide both by the number in front of the letter to get x is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, exact same thing can be seen with when we've got two-step equations. For example, 2k minus 3 is less than 16. I want to find out what k is less than, so I'll add 3 to both sides. I'll have 4k less than 19. I want to find out what k is less than, so I'll divide both sides by 4. And I'll have k less than 19 over 4. Remember, you can write it as a fraction if it doesn't divide exactly. So far, there's not been any change. I'll just go through one more example just to show that we do follow the process through the same way. Let's go 5m take away 3 is greater than 2m plus 18. Okay, so my strategy is I want to have all my letters on the left, all my numbers on the right. So first thing to spot is I've got 2m on the right hand side. I don't want it on the right hand side, I want it on the left hand side. So I want to get rid of it from the right hand side. So this is a positive 2m, so to get rid of a plus 2m I'm going to take it away. But because of a balance I need to do it to both sides. I'm going to have 3m take away 3 is greater than 18. Then we're just back to what we know. Add 3 to both sides. 3m is greater than 21. Divide both sides by 3. And I'll get m is greater than 7. There is only one situation where inequations are different from equations. If we were to just think about the equation first of all, if it was minus 2x equal to 10, and I wanted to find out what x was, all I would do is I would divide both sides by minus 2. And I would get x is equal to minus 5. That is our general process for what we do for when we're solving these problems. In inequations, if we ever have to divide by a negative number, what happens is the direction of the sign changes. So here, if I was to solve this question, I would divide both sides by -2. And I would have x minus 5, but this changes direction. So I would have x is less than -5. So when dividing or multiplying by negative numbers, the sign switches round. So when multiplying or dividing by negative numbers, the sign switches round. Okay, another example like this, if we had -3m greater than 18, we would divide both sides by -3. But because we're dividing by a negative, the sign in the middle changes direction. So I'm going to have m is less than -6. So in dividing by negatives, in inequations, the sign switches side, switches direction. Okay, let's imagine we've got this problem here. -4 bracket y plus 2 is less than or equal to 11. So we can see a bracket here, so our first thought should always be to multiply out the bracket. So -4 times y is -4y. -4 times plus 2 is -8. And that is less than or equal to 11. Then we just need to solve the question like we normally would. So we want to have the letters on the left, so we want to get rid of this -8 here. We don't want this -8 on the left hand side, we want that on the right. So to get rid of it from the left, we need to add it to both sides here. So I'm going to have -4y is less than or equal to 19. I want to have y on its own, so I'm going to need to divide both sides by -4. But because I'm dividing by a negative, the direction of the sign needs to change. So if it was less than or equal to, it will now be greater than or equal to. And that will be -19/4. Okay, this final example I have taken from the National 5 2015 paper 1. And this is question 2 and it's worth 3 marks. Okay, so we've got to solve the inequation 11 take away 2 bracket 1 plus 3x is less than 39. So first thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to obviously multiply out this bracket. Okay, but remember, it's only the number in front of the bracket, or the term in front of the bracket, that multiplies everything inside the bracket. So it's only the 2 that is multiplying the bracket. So we're taking away 2 times 1 is 2, and then -2 times plus 3x is -6x, which is less than 39. 11 take away 2 is 9, so it's 9 take away 6x, which is less than 39. Once again, I just want to have my letters on the left and my numbers on the right. So we can see here that I've got a 9 on the left hand side that I don't want. This is a positive 9. So to get rid of positive 9, I need to subtract it from both sides. Don't forget about your negative here. Don't forget to not include it. So -6x is going to be less than 30. Then I'm going to need to divide both sides by -6. When I am dividing by a negative, the sign switches side, switches direction. 30 divided by -6 is -5. So remember, if you're dividing by a negative, the sign switches direction.